Hey, thank you again for having us here. Again at Soul Purpose Farms, episode 7. And we're gonna dive right in, man. How y'all been feeling this past week?
Everything been good with me. What's up?
Yeah, everything been good my way. I can't even complain.
Okay, okay. So what's been some highlights of y'all week?
Mm, well, going to see my folks, that was a highlight. I I feel like yesterday and today I just been trying to get back in the groove, you know what I'm saying, of doing my work. Is like crunch time now for school and summer work. So the highlight would have to be, being with my folks and you all this past weekend.
Okay.
Yeah, same for me. Coming out there to kick it with
Oh,
you.
I can't hear y'all. Oh, there we go.
What you said, Vic?
Oh no, I had it on. I had my computer on mute. Did y'all hear me?
Yeah,
we
yeah.
heard you.
Oh, okay.
I have to say the highlight for me was coming out there to see your folks, man. Coming out there to kick it with y'all. It's the same with me though. It's crunch time. Got 2 weeks left to this internship, so I'm wrapping up this stuff, wrapping up my research, wrapping up my paper and all of that. So
How I feel to say that? I'm wrapping up my paper, wrapping up my research.
yeah, it's bittersweet, man, because they've been
Okay,
showing me
Fantasia.
love. I'm on my Fantasia. They've been showing me love, man. So coming, working in a space like this and then having to go back to state, you know,
Okay.
you know.
But it is what it is.
Yeah,
though.
it is what it is, man.
what
It's
it
a
is.
blessing, you know what I'm saying? I don't take it for granted at all. I'm gonna go wrap things up at state and keep it pushing.
Yes, I know we're looking forward to seeing you become the president of some of them organizations out there in the state this year, taking them by storm. Because I ain't gonna lie, I really haven't seen anyone put themselves out as much as you in the agriculture space at state. Like you done took it to a whole nother level.
Yeah.
like literally took it to a whole nother level. Like
You really took off with that shit.
like
Yeah, I appreciate it, man. That's humbling coming from y'all, man.
man, look here,
Just
you
be
done
trying
took
to
it to
put
a
it on
whole
my back.
you done took it to a whole nother level. When they talking about
Yeah.
land grant mission, you is Mr. Land Grant. For real talk, man. Teaching, research, and extension, you done took it to a whole nother level, man. So I can't say I'm proud of you thoroughly, man. So
Yeah.
I ain't gonna lie, I can't wait to see the people come behind you, man, take it to another level. You done set the bar so high.
Oh yeah. And it's a few of them. It's a few of them. I want to get more involved before I leave. Touch a couple more students, but it's a couple of them coming after me that seem to have a passion and a drive for agriculture and what they're doing. Not just at South Carolina State, but in research and in academia in general.
Well, that's good, man. I think for me, I don't know how you saying this. Y'all to my crunch time, man. It been crunch time for me because this summer I've been taking 3 classes. So I finished up one class probably like 2 weeks ago, and I started another class. And I ain't gonna lie, I'm grateful to be in a position where I'm actually enjoying the classes that I'm taking because it's totally different than like how undergrad. You take a lot of classes that you're really not interested in. I know some of the classes I took in undergrad, like let's just say university 101, or however that may look at your university. I understand the importance of it, but as far as taking a whole year of that, man, that's not gonna put me in place to really succeed. But I recognize even when I was working in taking another class in another department this past year, I saw at a bigger university, they don't have like University 101. They got a class like kind of similar to it where it aligns you with your career track. Like, so if you are interested in becoming a veterinarian, you'll take like a intro class to like understanding in the day in the life of a veterinarian or whatever that may be. If you into like meat science, you'll get real life practical application as far as like how does that look in the real world. So I'm like, dang, that's very interesting because I enjoy certain things as far as like why tradition is very important in like the 1890 space or just Black college space in general. But a full year of it for somebody who me, I'm open-minded. So you can't really take my word for it because my university one-on-one experience was totally different. I remember calling you sometimes, Vic. I was like, "Hey, I'm not in class today." Sometimes me and one of my good buddies would be in there just busting out laughing at the most foolish things, but I do recognize a lot of the information that was passing down was very important. But as far as me cultivating me to where I wanted to be, I don't think those are the classes I need to be taking a full year of. But you live and you learn, and I just appreciate the journey uh, through and through. But it's something I ain't gonna lie, probably been the hardest something I ever did had school wise because it's so much. Cause I get 3 classes, then on top of my assistantship work and outside stuff. It's like, woo. So I really did appreciate this past weekend being able to spend time with your family and just seeing. I ain't gonna lie, y'all the real Medea family reunion.
Oh yeah,
Like real life.
yeah,
Like,
that was real inspiration right there.
What?
Real.
man, look at real life. Like that movie was made after your family.
Shout out to Tyler Perry.
Yeah, Tyler, man, look here. We know where you got it from.
What?
Man, he got the movie from your family. Man, I remember one time, I know I had to turn my phone off and I had just walked out there and look at the lakes. And I just started humming at grandma's hands.
Oh my God.
Man,
You already give me that theme song.
boy, I'm telling you, man, I turned my phone off and I was just out there just standing. I just, grandma's hands.
Boy.
You is crazy. Not grandma's
I
hand.
promise, because I felt that vibe. You know what I'm saying? Because like, one thing I did pick up from your family, he was saying, hey, day one, you was a visitor. After that, you family now.
Yeah.
And just seeing how high regard y'all hold each other too, like y'all got a real standard.
Yeah.
And what that means to be a man or just being a woman, but just as far as real true men coming to you and say, hey, what you got going on, man?
Yeah.
How does that look for you? And how can you help somebody else out? I'm like, dang, that was.
But that's what it's all about though. And my family, you know what I'm saying, as you all witness, is very open and welcome to, you know what I'm saying, people coming in and, you know what I'm saying. Now, if you on some bull junk, then that's a whole nother conversation. They, you know, they'll have a different conversation with you, but they understand that we as grandkids and nieces and nephews really not going to be on there, and we have a level of respect and regard for the land as well. You know what I'm saying? If you take care of the land gonna take care of you as well as your family. And so, you know what I'm saying, my family opened y'all with open arms when you know what I'm saying, when Sunday night when we had stayed at my auntie house. My auntie was, you know what I'm saying, everybody was asking, like, did they make it back safely? Did they enjoy themselves? You know what I'm saying? Like, really embraced y'all, you know what I'm saying? Good character, you know, good faithful men, you know what I'm saying? Y'all came down and embraced my family and enjoyed yourself. And they truly enjoyed that. But you know what I'm saying? Honestly, that's just what it's all about. Like, you ain't gotta be blood, you know what I'm saying, to be considered and be welcomed with open arms into a space that you ain't never been, you know, been in. And be embraced by so much great wisdom and conversation. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to be blood to make that happen. Like, my folks look at y'all like family. You know what I'm saying?
And just looking at like just the dynamics of how everybody played a significant role out there.
Yeah.
Everybody
Everybody had a role. Everybody, you know, had a role. It was even for the little stuff, the way y'all eat food, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, how the women, you know, y'all get together and y'all choose who gonna serve the food, and then, you know, they go by the eldest and say, hey, you get in line first, we're gonna make sure you get your plate. Stuff like that. Like, I ain't never seen nothing like that in my life. Like, I remember y'all laughing at me talking about, man, I used to pray for this, man. I used to pray for this. I used to really pray for that though, like for real, like for real. So that was big.
Hey, man, it was cool seeing that. I think Kevin Samuel must be related to y'all folks out there.
Why you say that?
Because everything that boy K Samuels was talking about, y'all was out there living it.
He ain't lying.
Yeah.
Kevin Samuels.
Yeah, you know,
He ain't lying.
long live K Samuels, but not just everything he I don't know everything he stood for. Just little clips I didn't see on the internet, But as far as how y'all had the women lined up, because I'm used to, okay, yeah, let the women eat. No, y'all had the women
the
serving.
women, y'all go ahead and eat.
Y'all was serving, you
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? And the men, they were just so grateful to be able to be served by their sisters or their cousins, their aunts, their moms. I'm like, man, look here.
You see when y'all came in, when y'all first walked in, and the Friday night when y'all dropped the 4-wheeler, my aunties was at it. Get them to the microwave, get them plates, get them to the food, get them to get the boys right. You know what I'm saying? And my uncles, they outside when you ready to go talk to them type situation. Like that's, you know what I'm saying? That's been a dynamic for years. You know what I'm saying? Years and years and years, even when they were kids. You know what I'm saying? My mom and my aunties and them weren't really in the fields, and it made sense. You know what I'm saying? You got 9 boys. It's enough hands on deck, you know, to work the fields when, you know what I'm saying, we had the timber going, and you know what I'm saying, row crops, all that stuff. When that was really producing when they were kids, you know, the men were outside and the women were inside, you know, doing house-made things. And so it just made sense, and they've kept that going over the years. And again, like you said, just kept that respect. You know what I'm saying? That's what it's all about. And people don't be realizing that. Like, everybody got their stories of the different shit, excuse my language, that they family go through. But you still family, you know what I'm saying, at the end of the day. And so you gotta operate as such. Like, you don't let outsiders or any outside factors break up what you got going on inside the house. You know what I'm saying? That's something that always stick with me. I don't care what issues I got. I can be in it, you know, back and forth with my mama tomorrow or today, and then 30 minutes later, we're gonna be back in business. You know what I'm saying? But that's what family is all about. And you don't never let people come in and break that up. You know what I'm saying? So,
man, I ain't gonna lie. I promise y'all, like, I think everybody had their own moments being out there. I know I had several out there. I'm just thinking about when my grandma passed a couple years ago. I'm like, dang, my grandma would dream to be back on out here on something like this. You know what I'm saying? And knowing that it had been in the family for years and years, even though we have some small acres of property, but just to have it at that magnitude where, like, you seeing in like the mainstream medias with different people in their celebrities, entertainers, and who getting into the agriculture field, speaking out about it more, and just seeing y'all that had this years on years, you know what I'm saying, this legacy, and y'all still hold it to this standard, man. I'm like, dang, boy, me and Quez coming from similar backgrounds, man, we gonna have to be the pioneers for our family.
Yeah.
Who step out there on them lands, okay, cool. We gonna have to be the sacrificial lamb for our family, you know what I'm saying? Because
yeah. It's the history of it too, and I'm sure you can feel it too, just the history and the work that was put into maintaining and keeping up. And granted, it's not in a full production mode, and that's okay, because, you know, people still have somewhere to come and fellowship.
but y'all still got emotion. Still emotion going on.
Yeah. I make it a joke, but you know what I'm saying, the barn that we built, that all the, you know what I'm saying, the eating and stuff happens, shoot, you can have church up in there. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's the type of place it is. That's the type of vibe it is. But just historical piece to it, you know what I'm saying? It was once you know what I'm saying, plantation lands, you know what I'm saying? Like, owned by a man named William Jones. And so he had a baby with his cook. And when he passed, he left her with that property. And my granddad continued to build onto it, which is how I got to the 600 plus that we have now. So just listening, you know what I'm saying, picking up them stories, picking up the historical piece to it, the bell that that called the slaves in, y'all saw it probably and pay attention to it. It's still right there. You know what I'm saying? And it was once upon a time used as a way to just gather the family and do prayer. But that's still out there. You know what I'm saying? So it's crazy just to think about. And black people in general who have accumulated land. And I encourage any black folks out there who have family land to really go, if you have the resources, go see where that land came from. Because I mean, it's some stories to be told of how our people obtained and acquired their land. To know that, you know what I'm saying, this slave owner left his cook, which was a slave, some land, and my granddad continued to just build onto that to build this beautiful place where people can come, your friends and family can come and gather and fellowship. That's I mean, and that's only my family. You know what I'm saying? Aaron, I know you got your folks got land, Quez, your folks got land. I can only imagine this, you know what I'm saying, the history and the lineage of where that came from and how your people acquired that. So I encourage people to go out and, you know what I'm saying, if you can, find out who was on your property, where did it come from, all that.
Yeah, because I know, like, far as totally agree with you saying, but I think as far as what we went to school for and what we're interested in, it's different between having land and having a fully functioning and operating farm or just enterprise. That's why I'm gonna start using that word, enterprise, agricultural enterprise, because you can have land and not do anything with it.
Yeah, you can have land and not have no motion.
Yeah, so I think this platform is very essential because it's a value added product for farmers to get into, because if you go online, you're seeing all these YouTube channels and things like that of these people who having years and years of experience, land has been passed down for generation to generation. It's a value added product at this point, because I know a lot of y'all done heard about digital real estate. So when you creating this content and stuff like that, that's building your repertoire up within the digital space as well as in the physical space. Because like I told you all time and time before I heard this, shout out to Wallow, all you gotta do is get hot and folks will buy whatever.
Yeah, it don't matter.
And especially if you're selling quality product, you know what I'm saying? Things, you know what I'm saying? I brag to y'all all the time. I was talking to Quay this morning. I said, man, look at, I know, shout out to Ian Dunlap. I know he is the master investor. My brother right here, the master gardener. and I'm willing to put 10 toes on that. Like, look here, please line them up. I'm not saying ain't nobody better, but I'm saying my boy is an NBA All-Star player. You know what I'm saying? Same with you, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know nobody who can plan something like you. Like, once you really sit down and say, okay, let's map it out, man, you're the program planner of the century.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
That's real.
And I was thinking about that lady who we met at Manners years ago. What's the lady? I think she worked for the presidential cabinet now. The Black woman. We had a conversation with her in the lobby. She had a short haircut at the time. She was like the keynote.
Oh, Simone, that's my girl. Simone,
yeah.
She's married.
Yeah. Crazy. Yeah. I don't know if we told you about this, Quez. Like, me and V had a real sit down conversation with her in the lobby at one of the Manners conference. Like, she was going on and on, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, dang, I said, she hard, but she
she the truth. That's one of my
she really don't know you way harder.
No, but she's the truth.
No, I'm not. Look at. I'm not saying she ain't the truth. You know what I'm saying? Like Bill Russell was true. Before the LeBron, Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant, whoever, you know what I'm saying? Each generation supposed to go to the next level. You know what I'm saying? But I'm saying I see that in you and I see that in him. You know what I'm saying? As far as knowing what it is, mapping it out, having that shared vision and take it to the next level. I don't know nobody harder. I've been around a couple people. You know what I'm saying? It's very hard. I'm like, oh yeah, I guess somebody really harder than y'all. All it is, they just need that platform to take it to the next level.
Yeah. And I say that about all of us. We really got the dream team, you know what I'm saying? Like, he just went in on what you got going on, Vic, what I got going on. Him too, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. He leave himself out.
Yeah, all the time.
Together like him, you know what I'm saying? Like when it comes to bringing those people in the same rooms and putting them together and say, hey, I got this person, they good at this. I got this person, they good at this. We should all be together. Like, ain't nobody doing it like that, especially in, you know what I'm saying, in this space, you know what I'm saying? So
with good, with a, you know what I'm saying, people may be out there doing it with a good heart, but I'm talking about with zero ulterior motives. Like,
with the purest
heart. Right.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And real passion behind all of us, real passion behind what we got going on. And it's real family. You know what I'm saying? Ain't no other way to cut it.
Yeah, I think because with me is because I really love what we do. You know what I'm saying? From the classroom to, it's more than a lifestyle. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is who I was called to be.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It was called into my life. You be funny, even look at my initials, man. You see that AG, man. You know, I'm add through, baby. You know, shout out to
Oh boy.
But I'm saying that because growing up on the east side of Atlanta and just having ties to Detroit, Michigan, I didn't have real models who had real pure intentions. Everybody had their own little ulterior motive, you know what I'm saying? But as far as finding this lane and being able to connect with different people and saying like, okay, bro, this is something I can change people's lives for this, get them connected. And because I was just even thinking about, you know, how people always talking about just college isn't for everybody, but those who do go, you still seeing people graduating, working at Walmart, not knocking that, you know what I'm saying? 'Cause they're still putting money in their pocket
Mhm.
or Foot Locker, whatever, with a college degree. I haven't seen anybody who graduated with an agriculture degree not have a good, or not a job, but career. Only reason they don't have a career is because of something they may have did,
Yeah.
which is maybe not had internships or just didn't apply themselves. They literally had not put in no applications.
Yeah.
Because everybody that I know who graduated with just a bachelor's in agriculture from ag business to animal science, they working somewhere.
Yeah.
Then it's up to them level. I guess that's with anything, but I'm saying,
That's with anything, for
yeah,
real.
this ain't no degree in creative writing.
Yeah.
And not knocking creative writing, but
Nah, man, it's one of the last few disciplines where it's still practical experience.
right.
It's real. And even beyond academics, like when we talk about, you know, how we started with your family, Vic, you know what I'm saying? Like when we talk about family, there's a huge disconnect in where we come from and where we are today. You know what I'm saying? You're one of the very, very few families, you know, you might be that 4% of families that still had ties to their land and still, you know, have production on their land and still do things on their land. Whereas, you know, in our space, there really aren't a lot of people in agriculture. So, you know, just connecting the dots to our roots, you know what I'm saying? Like there's a huge disconnect and a huge gap in between where our great grandparents came from and where we come from. You know what I'm saying? So just being in a space to where we can connect those dots and bring that back to the land is big, you know what I'm saying, especially for our generation.
Yeah, and I think hitting on what you hitting on our generation, people understanding, you know what I'm saying, if you tapped in or you know people that are want to know more about ag, a little bit apprehensive, don't know who to go to, you know what I'm saying, family reunions, whatever, man, go see your people, connect with your people, you know what I'm saying, like we ain't no spring chickens, you know what I'm saying, we not getting any younger, and people talk about legacy and all this stuff, go tap into your folks. You know what I'm saying? See what type of land just sitting out there. Even if it's just sitting out there and it's not cultivated in any kind of way, don't feel like it's foreign territory. Like you can't, you know what I'm saying? Like you can't go tap in. Go tap in. There's plenty of resources, plenty of people out here that like ourselves that are willing to sit down and have a conversation. We don't know everything, but we can have a conversation with you about, okay, lead you where you need to go so you can figure out what you want to do. You know what I'm saying, as it pertains to agriculture, because it's wide open.
Crazy you saying that because I had about like a 2-hour conversation with one of your uncles, man. He was straight, man. I thought I was talking to Big Bang Black the way he was putting me down.
Shout out to Uncle Ellie.
He had so many gems. Like we started off talking about poultry industry because you know I got a love for commercial poultry units. You know what I'm saying? Hate love relationship with them, but I respect the farmers that's in this, particularly the Black farmers, because of the uphill battles they got to fight in that industry. But then we jumped and started talking about the cattle. And he was talking about how he runs the cattle on y'all farm. And then we started talking about land ownership. And he was like, man, you're a young man. And I was telling him, hey, I'm still in school. And I, yeah, I understand that. He said, but there's so many programs out here that you can go and get you some land. All you gotta do is have that real cash flow.
Mm-hmm.
And like, and always keep that in mind, that cash flow is very important. Because he said he was just talking about as far as like if he had to make a living off of the cattle alone, he don't know how he could do it. But that's come into place where we're talking about having platforms like this, networking with other people who are more prominent and more knowledgeable in the field to create, you know what I'm saying, other ways. How do you go about doing stuff, Quiz? How do you go about doing stuff big? And I'm like, dang, man, it really was inspiring to see you can go get it. Because even with me, like, I want to keep costs low, like as far as start a cattle operation or just starting out a livestock operation in general, like keeping costs low. I would look into leasing land first.
Yeah.
Leasing the farm, you know what I'm saying? Until you can find your niche in that area and find, okay, let me work out the kinks or whatever that may be. Then I ain't gonna lie.
I didn't mean to cut you off. it's almost like buying a house.
Mhm.
If you're not in position, I hate when people, especially people our age, you need to buy a house. It's time to buy a house. I don't need to buy a damn thing because for one, you know what I'm saying? If I buy a house, I'm tied to that house. My cousin this weekend was talking about she can't travel or nothing because she got the house and ain't no telling if something gonna come up. People don't think about that. When you buy a house, air conditioner go out. Who got to pay for that? Me. You need a new stove because your stove went out. Who got to pay for that? Me. Ain't no landlord coming or maintenance man coming to slide you in a new dryer. Now you got to move that stuff out yourself. And it's the same thing with land. You know what I'm saying? When it
It's
come
down,
up,
it's down there worse when you talking about getting to the whatever operation getting into. Just think about just say it for instance. I'm gonna go break it down from poultry to cattle. You talking about poultry? You want to get into commercial poultry? You want to be contracted poultry? Right? Bank 9 times out of 10 they 100% finance your operation. Right? You got to go get a contract to build houses. Okay, then you got to go secure your contract, whatever company you want to go through, right? But guess what? The company only supply your feed and your birds. But
Everything else on you.
you know what I'm saying? The infrastructure all on you. And every couple of years, guess what they're gonna say? Oh, well, it's new regulations. We're cutting down the number of birds, or we're going with this kind of feed now.
Or you got to upgrade this.
Upgrade this. You know what I'm saying? And you still got to do maintenance all on your own.
right.
Guess what? And you
Not
still
a cheap man's game.
and you still got to pay that loan back, that $1 million plus loan. Interest rate might be low, but things change. Even with the cattle game, get what I'm saying? They still own the land and they still own your cattle. The bank own all that.
And if you don't got the money,
They
they
come and get it.
all of it up.
They coming to get it. Because guess what?
Yeah.
Cattle and land is still assets.
Yeah.
If you ain't doing what you're supposed to be doing, get what? The 18 will coming down that road. They
Gonna
come
be labeled collateral
they come to load them up.
and taking it off.
You know what I'm saying? So that's why with me, like having not as much capital as I would like to have right now, I will go in and looking at the lease me a farm, grow me a herd, find my niche in the cattle operation. Then I can say, okay, cool. I know what I'm good at. And guess what? The good thing about the farm community, a lot of these people, they just want somebody to take over the land.
Yeah. They need somebody that's gonna be down there, that's gonna be into the land and gonna take care of it.
And you never know what, you know what I'm saying, just pouring into the land and just pouring into people. Get what, man? You never know. The Lord might be able to say, hey, and people might say, man, look here, don't worry about it. This your farm. You never know. I'm not saying it's gonna happen like that. I'm not saying that.
But it can though, because you gotta think about it. Like, for example, the Mr. Vincent down in South Carolina, them what was that, 3 acres that I had from him that I was gonna put them hoop houses on and put my towers on. You know what I'm saying? He didn't have no kids and he didn't charge me to use the land. Granted, you know what I'm saying, the planning roll out how I wanted to roll out, but the fact that he was willing to, you know what I'm saying, even allow me to be on his property and have me drop my contract, you know what I'm saying, and he don't have no kids. He got a wife, but he don't have no kids. So he didn't have nobody to pass that land down to. And he even kept in touch with me when I went to Alaska. But not to say he was gonna give me that land, but it's those type of relationships. You know what I'm saying? Even with you and Mr. Omer, like he could easily be like, shoot, even though he has kids and grandkids, things like that. Shoot, Aaron, you know what I'm saying? I ain't got long, you know what I'm saying? If he were to ever get to that position, because you got to think about a lot of these folks are older and they don't really have the means to do the work on it. May not have the resources, but let alone have the physical labor and ability to do the work on it either. So it ain't nothing for them to be like, I'm gonna leave this to you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like that is possible.
Yeah, and a lot of people, they still, like I was saying earlier, you got to think outside the box if you really want to make an impact and if you want to be profitable in this business. You know what I'm saying? Whatever they may be, you know what I'm saying? Because like far as you, like with the towers, man, them folks ain't seen no shit like that.
No, but it's the business to get into.
Yeah, and even with Quiz, as far as saying, okay, cool. I'm seeing him with the portable garden beds and things like that. A lot of like, why would I do that? You know what I'm saying? Like, it's different ways you can do things. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
It's a lot of technology out here, and a lot of this stuff is just innovative. It's like, okay, cool. I can get in the space with having low overhead. That's the thing. The thing is to make money. If you in to make money, it's different between hobby farming and farming to make a profit.
Yeah.
It's a difference.
You have people that's got co-ops now. You got like down in right out, not too far out from Orangeburg, close to Charleston, is Tiger Farms. They literally they built their own, well, they have freight containers and they do hydroponics inside of those freight containers, and they build them for you. And everybody, so the daughter, she was once an educator, she was an elementary school teacher. So you got the person doing the outreach. Her dad was an engineer, brother was a horticulturist, and then they got one other brother that did something else. Now they building, you know what I'm saying, gutting out freight containers. You can get a freight container for $2,500. You know what I'm saying? I bought a freight container, and then they turning them into full-on hydroponic systems. And so they partner with local farms and created co-ops. So now they growing greens, straight collard greens and other leafy greens for these co-ops. And all they doing is literally behind the McDonald's.
Can't beat that. But the thing about it, as far as I'm pretty sure to bet my bottom dollar, they have an innovative mind, and they're younger too. So what's the average age of a farmer right now? Like 55, 56?
Yeah, it's in the 50s. Yeah.
It's still like, I'm not saying like you still got the Shannon Sharps of the world looking like Cot Diesel, you know what I'm saying? But most of these men been on the farms for all their life, their body is beat down.
Yeah, we ain't got a whole bunch of Ocho Cincos out here.
You know what I'm saying? So they be doing everything the traditional way. And that's all they know. Cause even I was looking at some of the management practices this past weekend, I was like, dang, ain't that, they didn't think about fencing off the pond, putting the hot wire around the pond, you know what I'm saying, to keep some of the animals out the pond. But I recognize too, number one, you shut your mouth when this ain't your property. Two, everybody ain't gonna do what you're gonna do.
Exactly.
Right.
And three, soak up the game. So when you in position, you don't make the same mistakes.
Yeah. You can work a move how you need to work a move. Cause I mean, we had that conversation, Aaron. I was thinking about the same type of stuff. Like, why not split up the land, you know what I'm saying, in more ways so the cattle can, rotational graze, you know what I'm saying, more often. But I mean, like Aaron saying, like, you gotta be in position to understand, like, I'm here to get this out of this, you know what I'm saying? And I'm here to understand this, and I need to soak up this and understand why they do this or why they do that. So I can make the best move for me when I decide to work a move, you know what I mean?
Straight up.
Yeah.
That's one of the main reasons for the platform too, is because I was kind of upset as far as having these conversations that we've been having. We've been having these conversations for years before even putting it out there. And I was like, dang, we ain't got nothing to show for it.
Right.
We ain't got nothing to show for it. So I'm glad and I appreciate y'all for taking y'all time and help build this thing up, because it's gonna go places. We just gotta keep on being patient.
Oh yeah.
So
Sure.
I know we always been in like this, you know what I'm saying, going to the road to Invest Fest Vic. Take us home, man.
I was just about to say, don't forget about Invest Fest. I feel like we learn something new every week about what's gonna pop off, but still don't have a clue on what's really gonna pop off at Invest Fest. But we're gonna be at Invest Fest.
So we're gonna be in the building.
Yeah.
We
gonna
gonna be in the
building.
We for sure gonna be in the building, capturing all the moments.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We got some crazy merch on the way. This is not a clothing line, it is merch, y'all. So and those will be up on the site probably after Invest Fest as well. The big premiere will be at Invest Fest. So if you can get your tickets, meet us there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And one thing I want to say too, though, if any undergraduates or high school students, you know what I'm saying, that's interested in going to school, man, come stop by the table, man. We got some gems we can talk to you about, because we're gonna start doing workshops as far as for high school students and undergraduate students looking to go pursue college education in ag or in just in internships, apprenticeships area. So just tap in and stop by the booth, man. I appreciate y'all for tuning in this week. All right.